Awesome. Yeah. Hey, folks. My name is Bonnie, part of Orkes, co-founder and CTO. Very excited to meet you all. Thank you all for taking the time to join us. And I think what an amazing presentation earlier from Sean and Jill. We learned a lot about Conductor today, how it's getting used. We have event handlers, we have long-running workflows, we have really long-running workflows, and then there is a ton of domains and systems, both internal and external, that we can integrate together. We have customizable storage. We heard about how MariaDB was used as the storage, as well as MongoDB for metadata. It's impressive to see that. We have different eventing channels that the Conductor can integrate with. You can plug your own, which is amazing, which has always been the coolest feature of Conductor, how pluggable and customizable it is. And then what impressed me the most in that presentation was how you can customize your workflow for each execution. I think Sean mentioned he plugs a start and end to each workflow execution. How cool is that, right? It's like writing your code each time when the user triggers a workflow and plugging it in, and it's just simply amazing. You can change your workflow definition for each execution. That was very impressive. So it's really cool to see, how Conductor get used in the wild. It's always exciting to learn new use cases. And also, like on the wait task, I think there was a question about this, whether there is a 6-month time limit. I mean, there is definitely no time limits. When I was working at Netflix, there was a time when I had to go back and clean up some of my tasks that was left running for years. So definitely no time limits there. So thanks, Sean and Phil, for that presentation. So what are we doing at Orkes, right? So we are on a mission to empower developers to build scalable, reliable systems using Conductor. And in this section, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about, what we've been doing. So what have we been up to? Lots of exciting stuff. So the first thing I want to focus on is there's a repo link that you see here. This is, we are introducing the Conductor SDKs repository. Conductor, as you know, is not tied to any language implementation. So, but we do have SDKs or client libraries that helps, manage some aspects of using Conductor, right? It's just polling for work, updating metadata, composing workflow definitions, and things like that. So we've been hard at work alongside the members of the community to expand the coverage. So what do we have? We have a Python SDK that's out there that you can start using. We have Clojure. We want to really get the Clojure community excited. So the SDK of Clojure is out there as well. Golang is now available. And we also have C#. Now, just to call it out, right? Python and Golang was already there before, and this is just a slightly more improved version, that helps you, gives you a lot of flexibility in configuring your workers and how often you want to execute them and all that. So it's like an upgraded version. And a huge shout out to Sean from SSNC, who contributed the C# SDK. Python was built out by Gustavo from Orkes, and the upgraded version, and James contributed the Clojure SDK. We're really excited about the Clojure because we want to get that community excited. And hopefully, they get to use Conductor in an easier way. It's a wrapper around the Java SDK, which was kind of made it easy to build that out. So, which means we can even build other JVM languages SDKs really soon. And our plan is to put out a blog for each of these SDKs on how you can use this. So keep an eye out for that, right? So more definitely coming up soon. The fact that it's pretty lightweight to build these SDKs means that we can do this fast. So these are some of the languages that we are focused on right now: TypeScript, Rust, Ruby, Kotlin, and PHP. And if you see a language in here that you're a fan of and you want to contribute, please do let us know. We'd love to have you participate. And if you don't see your favorite language in here, please let us know. We can work together on making that happen as well. And all of these are going to go into that GitHub repo that we shared earlier, and we'll send out the link soon as well. All right, so you might ask, what's happening with Java, right? Well, we published the Java SDK, an upgraded version for the Java SDK recently. It's still being reviewed, and it'll be out there soon. What it has is two cool features. One is that you can unit test your workflow definitions now, which is really amazing. Previously, it used to be tested mostly with integration tests, but now you can unit test your workflow definitions. And that also means you can write your workflow in code. So if you're a fan of writing workflow definitions in code, that is now possible. So please try it out. We will replicate the same functionality in all of the language SDKs. So you'll be able to do the same things that you can do with the Java SDK across all of the language SDKs. So please do try it out and let us know your feedback. The Java SDK will be maintained in the code repository alongside Conductor, so it won't show up in the Conductor SDKs repo, but it'll serve as the primary SDK, the model that all the other language SDKs will follow, and we'll have like minimum feature parity, right? All right. Cool. So what are some of the other things that are coming to the OSS soon? So we do have the scheduler that we've recently built and have been testing. This is one of the most requested features from our customers. So we figured we prioritize this. So this is now ready and to be used in production. As you can tell, the scheduler allows you to schedule your workflows. You can have multiple schedules run the same workflow with different parameters. So, for example, at 10 a.m., you can run the workflow to encode your morning show, and like at 2 p.m., you can run the same encode workflow to run your lunchtime news show. So it's pretty flexible in that way. We've been trying it out lately, and it's pretty good. So that's exciting. We'll share more about this soon in a blog post as well. Yeah. And yeah, I also wanted to introduce like our Playground environment. So this is, so what's a Playground, right? It's a fully featured Conductor installation that we have hosted at this URL here, play.orkes.io. This is something that you can use. We wanted to remove as much friction as possible for you to get started with Conductor. So if you want to just quickly try out a feature, this is a great place to go and try that out. It is hosted in Orkes Cloud. And fun fact is that we provisioned this using our own cloud platform. So, we have as a company, one of the things we want to do is help people install and manage Conductor. So that platform is ready, and we use the same platform to build this out. So if you want to try our cloud platform for hosting or running Conductor, let us know. But, you can do that yourself too. It's pretty easy to do. Conductor, one of the Conductor's advantages that it's really easy to configure and run in production. So going back to the Playground. So you can test all the features that are in the OSS in this Playground. So if you want to test inline task or decision task or any of those wait tasks or any of those things that we talked about earlier, the Playground is a great place for you to do that. So let me show you a quick demo of that. Okay. So this is what it looks like. It's fairly standard, the same UI that you get from the OSS, but there is some additions to like the layouts just to make it prettier. But pretty much the same thing. You can see the workflow executions that are out here. Any workflow that you configure and run will be kept here for as long as you need to. So, it doesn't go away when you come back. To define a workflow, it's a fairly simple step. There's an editor UI that allows you to configure the workflow and save and run it. And I'll just show you one workflow that was previously configured. So this is like a min-max workflow that we have shown as an example in our documentation as well. So that's this getting started with Conductor Playground documentation, which you can look through as a guidance on how to get started. But this workflow I just ran using the run workflow functionality is shown here. It's a very simple use case. You can see the power of Conductor here again. Using a inbuilt system task, we fetch the population data of all the states in the US. So that's like you're making an HTTP call against this API that's publicly available. We managed to get the population of all the states. Then what we did was we did a fork join where we ran we ran two tasks in parallel, one to find what was the max and the second one to find what was the min. And can you guys guess which state has the biggest population? Give you guys 10 seconds. You got it. California, that's right. How about which state has the smallest population? Hawaii. All right. Oh, Doug, you got it. That's right. So let's see. So that's what happened. So again, this was done using a system task. It's a JQ task, which you can use to parse the output that was previously fetched by the previous task and extracted the state with the max value. So you can see it pulled out California as the max. If you go to the min population, you can see it pulled out Wyoming as the max. All of this was run using like it was all executed using Conductor's inbuilt tasks. So that's like, there's a lot of code that you can offload to Conductor when you're running complex workflows. And this is a good example of showing that. So that's about Playground. And once you start using the Playground, and if you have any questions, don't forget to join the Slack community and post your questions. We will definitely be able to answer anything. And if you want to try out installing Conductor in production, and if you want us to help you with that, we can do that too. Or you can use our cloud platform to provision a cluster and get your production workload going. Cool. I think that's all I had to share. And I think we're about time too, but happy to take any questions.
Well, thanks, Bonnie. That was great. And I've been playing with the Playground a lot, and it's a lot. I've been building a lot of stuff in there, and it's great. So I'm looking for questions. I'm not seeing any more questions popping up, but again, the Playground is at play.orkes.io. Bonnie showed the link, and it's on our webpage for the Slack channel. We also have a Discord channel, depending on your platform of choice, so you can join that as well. We're currently we've just started this week a hackathon. And so if you want to check that out, you can go to this bit.ly link, which is Orkes Hack, and check it out. If you have any questions, you can join the Discord or the Slack channel, and we can help you out there with that. I saw maybe a chat come up. Is there any way to change the workflow version during the runtime? So if you found issues in the workflow right after launching it?
Yes, this is one of the most commonly used features of Conductor. Like you kind of launched a, so you can change the version. You can actually change the existing version definition, or you can introduce a new version. Both these functionalities are possible. So if you have a problem with your previous version, you can change that version and run it.
Nice. Someone asked about a link to the Slack. If you just go to orkes.io, there's a button at the top of the page for that one. I don't have it on I didn't put it on my Google slides. Sorry about that one. The last one here is, of course, Conductor is open source. So that's the link to the open source repo. And if you haven't yet, give us a star. If you're using Conductor and you enjoy using it, give us a star. That's always appreciated as well. And with that, we've almost hit 90 minutes, which is kind of a great amount of time for 3 presentations. I'll hang out in case there are any more questions. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Like, this has been great. I love seeing the excitement around the Conductor community.